See if this works. Yay! Okay, great, it works. What a win. Um, Welcome everyone to the OpenJS Foundation Standards Collab Space meeting, August 20th of 2024. We are with many of our friends from the JS community who are interested in web standards. We're doing this for the second time, I think, from our new PCC meeting management tool. And this time we've got it actually recording live to YouTube, going straight there. And that's great because it didn't work that way last time. So victory. Hopefully this is going to make things a lot easier. But if you're interested in joining us, please join us on Slack. That's one thing. We've got a great active Slack channel, and then also our mailing list. If you sign up there, you'll get an invite directly on this for this call. The meeting issue for today is issue 297 on the standards repository under the OpenJS Foundation org. Do we have any announcements, reminders, FYIs, or heads ups from projects or from the foundation to share today? Robin or Jordan or Chris?
We have a board meeting Friday, so no big updates. Also, our program committee met last week and looking at trying to host something in 2025, but we'll share more as things come together. But no big news.
Okay.
So Jory, I tagged you in the reflector issue. We're doing TC39 is doing planning for next year's meeting dates, in-person meeting dates, or hybrid meeting dates, I should say. So we would like to know of any conflicting meetings, any big things. There are things that are, of course, on our radar, like TPAC and stuff. But anything else would be great to know those dates. Also, it's good to remind folks that we plan our dates in advance, oftentimes more than others do. And just always good to remind other folks to check our dates to not conflict after we've already decided on ours. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is we generally have a stretch goal of seeing if we can co-locate the TC39 plenary meetings with any large, like, other conferences that could be adjacent that are germane-ish to TC39, because that can be a good motivator for folks requesting approval from their companies for travel and funding, that oh, it's also adjacent this event, so we're gonna send you. That can make all the difference. So if anybody has any suggestions for those sorts of opportunities, please let us know.
Is TPAC on the radar for next year? Possibly like co-locating a TC39 meeting with TPAC in 2025?
I can't remember. We may have discussed TPAC. But yes, I will take that.
I know there's another event that's happening this month. I don't know if it's an annual event though. In the UK, it's the State of the Web Browser, I think. That's what it was called. I'll have to look it up. But that would be another one.
Sorry, which one?
It's like State of. Is it State of the Web? Event. Hold on. Oh, nope, it's not that one. It's in the UK. State of the Browser is what it's called. And they just, I'm finding the 2023 event, but I know they have one for 2024, but this is it. It's a 1 day local conference. I'll drop that in for you too, Chris. So, all right. Other shares or announcements, and then I'll move us on to, so I'm going to click off that, move us on to the liaison reports. We'll start, since we've got TC39's event / meeting planning already on. Chris, do you want to provide any, or Richard, any updates from TC39 this week?
None that I can think of. We're in between meetings right now. So we've already given the update and there's not yet enough to anticipate what's coming.
And I don't see anybody here from TC53 today. Unless, Chris, you happened to chat with Peter Hottie recently about anything going on the 53.
I was in a meeting with him last week, but we weren't talking about TC53 things. So.
Yeah. Okay. Might be interesting to see if he would come just give a little update to this group, actually, at some point. Yes, Jacob.
I don't know if now is the time to mention it, but you're talking about TC39 things. So I've been like auditing like some groups for the past few months, and I had been asked by Dan in London to champion the assertions spec. So I think I have my sea legs a little bit now. So I was going to start that proposal. I know that as a delegate of OpenJS, that it sort of starts here. So I think I know from like a what buttons I need to push kind of thing, what to do. But in terms of OpenJS's opinion and buy-in and that sort of thing, what do I need to do? And is that appropriate for right now?
That is a great question. I don't know if one of our, Jordan, if you want to kind of speak to how championing, you need to verbify that a little bit, works for our community.
For OpenJS, you mean? Yeah. So assuming you have found a potential or existing proposal that isn't currently championed, and you've done all the research to figure out, like, where to go forward, then I would say that like just propose to this group, right? That generally, like, it's nice if somebody making such a proposal has been attending these specific meetings and continues to do so. But essentially the proposal is, hey, I want to champion this thing. What do y'all think? And then we chat about it. It's pretty informal in that regard. And then the main thing is that when it comes to, like, the main sticking point, I guess, has always been that when it comes to making so like you as a delegate, I'll speak about you, but I'm speaking about anyone in general. If you as a delegate are doing anything in committee that would object, like, to advancement of something else, or potentially that would lock in a normative change that this group hasn't, or would lock in a normative change, then with either of those things, it would be ideal if this group has kind of given consensus about it first, or if absolutely necessary, post fact, right, you come back here and and talk it out with us, and we make sure that it's the right decision, as you know, within the thoughts of the group. That's kind of it. There's like TC39 specific stuff if you wanted to take over a proposal, right? And I can speak to that as well if relevant, but that's not like OpenJS related.
I guess sort of what I'm wondering is, so Dan is like the vice chair of TC39 or something, and so he was the one who asked me to champion this specific thing. So
Great.
I am assuming that means, well, also, I was talking about this at my working group last week, and one of the things that he asked me to champion was actually already done. So maybe I should take this with a grain of salt. But I'm assuming, since he asked me to do this, that means that it is not done. So
Correct.
what I was thinking, what my course of action would be is to fork the template, start the draft in broad strokes, bring it to this meeting and all of you, and sort of present the preliminary stuff. I don't think it will be particularly contentious, but of course, it's always nicer to see it before rather than after. Be like, hey, what happened?
Yeah. No, I think you're exactly right. Fork the template, start writing it out.
Okay.
The only like general advice I would give that's TC39 specific is stage, like prior to stage 2, things are mostly focused on the problem to be solved and not so much on the solution. It's fine to like, and it's even ideal to sketch out a possible solution or more than one. But frame and name the proposal around the problem is my advice.
Okay, cool.
And then, yeah, I would say once you have that ready for people to look at, drop it in the Slack channel, and you know, we can look at it before the meeting, and then you know, there's plenty of time before the October plenary to discuss it, if it's something you'd want to present then.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's exciting, and you know, congratulations and also condolences for getting this obligation. All right, so W3C Advisory Council update. You know, the main thing we kind of just covered off recording, which is coordinating on Slack to respond to the board of directors election ballot. So that is the main action there, unless Toby, there was anything else you would add on the AC list worth raising, which I don't think so.
That comes to mind.
Yeah. We don't have Leia here to provide our usual tag updates. Also not sure that they've had much since the in-person event earlier this summer, so it's probably a quiet period anyway for kind of wrapping up holidays. So not seeing any update for that. The open source initiative and Open Policy Alliance, any updates there? Nope.
No, not much. No, nothing that I can think of right now.
All right. No updates from W3CAC, TAG, OSI, or OPA. All right, so I'll just check those. That takes us to open issues and PRs. I did put one PR for us today, which is just, again, more housekeeping. The Collab space repository cleanup. There's a PR that's open. I just wanted to get a quick clarification from Jordan, because there was a comment about breaking links. I'm not sure that any links will be broken here.
Yeah, when you rename a heading in a markdown file on GitHub, the heading is the old and new heading are automatically turned into a fragment link, like the hash part of the URL. And so when you edit them, it breaks the old links. It will still load the correct document. It will just no longer point to the correct section. It is certainly a choice to say, well, we don't care about that. But like,
it is
the
possible.
JavaScript spec maintains a list of old fragments for every link that has ever changed, to avoid breaking hashed links,
Okay.
as an example. Sorry, what were you saying, Richard?
Oh, I was going to say that most Markdown environments, including in particular GitHub, allow you to manually insert invisible fragment targets.
Yeah, that was my suggestion in the comment, was you add like an AID equals tag and that with the old hash,
Precisely.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I understood that's what would happen there. So, I mean, I can just update the PR to add a tag then. But I mean, other than that, actually, are you guys okay if I just do that and then open the PR? I think that's...
I mean, we could also make the case that, given that this is not normative documents referenced by anything, it's arguably okay not to maintain
Well, it's not about
hashes.
normativity. I mean, I guess for the spec it is, but it's, I mean, the defining principle of the web is cool URLs don't change. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of people break it. There's lots of link rot, but like, I think it's pretty important not to contribute to it if we can avoid it.
I mean, there's like something to be said for like practicing what you preach, I suppose. And yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, I can update that then. Let's see. Any other other than that, everybody good with that kind of getting, if I make that change and going ahead and merging that in with the change? Okay. One to merge with link fix. Okay. Right. Click that then. The last item I had on the agenda for today was TPAC, because I'd love to know if anybody here is going to TPAC in addition to Jory, so we can do like a little kind of OpenJS, gathering.
Sorry, what is TPAC?
What does TPAC stand for? Technical Plenary something? Anybody?
An
actually
advisory
know?
committee meeting, I think. I'm not sure. I think the AC stands for AC in TPAC.
Okay. So
It's the W3C. Sorry, please go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I've been doing all the talking. I'm not talking anymore. Your turn.
It's the yearly meeting of everyone who's involved with W3C in both technical and non-technical ways.
Where is it? You asked if people are going.
Yes, it is in Anaheim, California in about a month. So it's coming up soon, and on Wednesday, usually, in the middle of the week, they have like a developer day. So like the way that W3C does their in-person kind of plenaries is like Monday, Tuesday will be like working group meetings. Wednesday will be like a developer day. And then Thursday, Friday will be other working group meetings. So they kind of break it up like that. And then the midpoint is an opportunity for like all those working groups to get together, and they often also make that like a public thing as well. So people can, who aren't part of a working group, can still come and like be part of like conversations. In the past, Brian Cardell and I had done like a session together at one of the developer days, and just talked about stuff that we were working on and opportunities to find more like crossover with W3C communities. So it's a good opportunity if folks are going to be there to kind of socialize and make connections and that kind of stuff. Anybody?
Yeah, I'm not making it.
No,
I'm not making it this year. No. I linked to the origin of the name. It is indeed Technical Partnering and Advisory Committee, but it is no longer means this. It is now only the acronym,
we were
according
right.
to this website.
Okay, well, I'll be there. And I would be happy to like try and get folks together if we knew if there was like groups of people that we wanted to collab more closely with. So maybe that's part of the topic as well. If there's anything that we would want to put together in terms, like a lot of times the way those Wednesday sessions go is people will put together like 10 or 15 minutes worth of content and then just have conversations about it. So if there was anything that we wanted to kind of raise as an OpenJS community, or like moreover, if there were folks we wanted to invite to come get involved here or open pathways. Yeah. And any thoughts on like things that I can do to make the most out of time there for our projects? I am an open book.
Dan Applequist is running a new community group called the Swag CG, which is for what is it? Swag Security Web Application something. Anyway, it's sort of like a new community group that came out of the Security Web Forward workshops that was co-organized between W3C and OpenJS and I don't know, OWASP maybe last year. And so, you know, connecting with that group and I think that would be useful.
Do you know if they're like, well, I'll look at the agenda, but if they're certainly if they're having a in-person session there, we should go.
I don't know that they are.
Okay.
I don't know either way. Like I just don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I took a task to like check out the schedule such that it is so far.
Might be good. We've just published some security guidelines through our OpenJS security collab space. It might be good to get feedback on those with this group. We published those, but still, again, getting feedback. Let me pull the link, unless Chris beats me to it.
Okay. Well, we got a little bit of time, and the schedule does like shift a lot in the week or two leading up to the event. So please do check it out, and I'll be awaiting any input from you all on. I'm just going to add that to the notes. On any suggestions for time well spent there, and then of course I can provide a report of stuff after the fact. That is everything I had on my agenda. It feels so good to click off all the little buttons. Is anybody have any other business to or items to share today? Anything you want to put on for our next meeting in 2 weeks? Okay, cool. Hearing nothing, then oh, go ahead.
So in the interim between now and then, how does something make it onto the agenda?
You're welcome to add it. Or if like for some reason you don't have permissions to edit the issue, you can just comment on the issue and say, please add, whatever. But yeah, it's not a precious document by any or issue by any means. So please feel free to add anything directly.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I just recorded the notes like on the PR, or excuse me, on the issue actually. Since we are going to go away from having a mystery Google Doc, we can figure out exactly how we want to make this work in the future with potentially Zoom assisted or Firefly assisted meeting notes. But think we'll call this done. So I'll end the recording. Thanks everybody for dialing in on YouTube. Let me end.